The need for trained and skilled trade workers in Australia varies by territory and sector. However, technical and trade services are expected to contribute the most to job growth in the next few years. This is why many foreigners immigrate to Australia as trade workers. Hi, this is Max from the Visa Library. In this video, I want to tell you how to immigrate to Australia as trade workers. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, no time is better than right now. Do it so you can stay updated on visas and get a free cheat sheet for this video. We publish 3 new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe. Let's go. Employment opportunities differ across the country. For example, employers in more remote locations have a tougher time filling positions than in cities. Therefore, work prospects may be stronger in those places. Professional electricians, carpenters, plumbers, bricklayers, and many more skilled trades employees are in high demand in Australia. You may be qualified to apply for an Australian visa if you have job experience in trade professions. Most trade vocations are currently classified on the Australian Skilled Occupation List. Okay, what trades are in demand? The current occupation list comprises trade and skilled vocations and jobs in different categories. You can go to our article and see the list. Link is in the description. The occupations list is divided into 2 sections. STSOL or short-term skilled occupation list and MLTSSL or the medium and long-term strategic skilled list. If you are given a job, you must ensure that your occupation is on the applicable skilled occupation list. Every job on either list is assigned a number. This is referred to as the occupation ANZSCO number. Okay, what are the visa options? Let's look at them. You can apply for a variety of visas based on whether you live in Australia, you are in Australia, you are a New Zealander, you already have a provisional independence, regional and designated area visa, you have an Australian employer supporting you, or you have an Australian qualification. The most common visas for trade workers are skilled migrant visas, employer-sponsored visas, and working holiday visas. Before you begin the Australian migration visa application process, determine your visa eligibility, examine your skills, check if the shortage list on which your job appears on, see if you have enough evidence and paperwork, check if you fulfill the health and character requirements, and check your English level. Keep or retrieve your employment paperwork since some applications may demand more proof of your competence. What are qualified trade occupations for Australia skilled visas? The ANZSCO or Australian and New Zealand Standard Qualification of Occupations is a crucial starting point for your application. This is a classification system for all jobs that are qualified for nomination for immigration purposes. ANZSCO offers a standard set of details for each profession, including a broad description, skill level, registration or licensing laws, and the tasks and duties that may be done in each occupation. ANZSCO has many occupational categories for trade employers that may be considered for a skilled trade visa in Australia. Each category is subsequently subdivided into occupational unit groups. If you want to learn about those categories, their occupational unit groups, and their visa options in detail, go to our article. Okay, Next question. How to assess your skills? You must first pick a job to apply for a skills evaluation. Your qualifications and work experience are mostly important for this step. However, choosing a job from the skill occupation list or SOL is preferred. Construction skills, automotive trades, metal workers, and chefs are among the many trades available on the SOL. If your occupation is not on the SOL, you can still immigrate by being sponsored by a state or territory government. This is because many governments and territories include trade occupations in their state migration plans. Okay, let's go for the skill evaluation. We have 6 methods. The proper method depends on your trade, your country, and whether or not you have studied in Australia. The TRA Pathfinder is a wonderful place to start when deciding which skill assessment method you need to use. To see the link for this tool, go to our article. Okay, let's see the skill evaluation methods. Number 1, trade test. The first step would be to provide proof of your trade credentials and job experience. If you hold an Australian trade certificate, you must show that you have worked and studied for your job for at least 3 to 5 years. A technical interview or a practical exam is required for the second phase. The technical interview is often conducted through Skype. For licensed trades, the practical test requires you to show your abilities in person. Number 2, paper assessment or migration skills assessment. It is for candidates seeking a permanent skilled visa in professions and countries not served by TRA-approved registered training organizations. It is a paper-based skills evaluation to establish your comparability to Australian requirements for a skilled worker. To be eligible for the MSA program, your specified occupation must be listed on the MLTSS list or STSOL related to your education and your apprenticeship, and related to your job, of course. Number 3, offshore skills assessment or OSAP. The OSAP is for candidates seeking a skilled visa other than a subclass 485 or TSS visa. It is required for candidates from SAR or special administrative regions with certain occupations. The OSAP is made of 2 pathways. Pathway 1 is for applicants who do not have an Australian trade occupation, and Pathway 2 is available to candidates with relevant Australian qualifications or a current recognized Australian occupational license. In addition to your qualification, you must have 3 years of full-time work experience in a relevant occupation. It must include 12 months of full-time paid employment in your specified occupation in the 3 years preceding your application. If you hold an occupational license, you must work in Australia for 12 months full-time. Number 4, skill assessment opportunities for migrant incentive or SAOM. The SAOM is for migrants who live in Australia. Permanent family and partner visa holders may be qualified. It allows eligible migrants to receive a free accelerated skills evaluation. This evaluation may be utilized to boost your job prospects in your chosen field. It is intended for migrants who have not received a skills evaluation but have skills, credentials, and experience in a priority occupation. Number 5, TSS skilled assessment. The TSS Skills Evaluation Program is an assessment process for candidates seeking a subclass 482 visa. You must have a passport from a designated nation or special administrative region and work in a nominated vocation or job. The TSS Skills Assessment Program is divided into two paths. Pathway 1 is for applicants who do not have an Australian trade qualification, and Pathway 2 is available to candidates with relevant Australian vocational qualifications or a currently recognized Australian occupational license. In addition to your qualification, you must have 3 years of full-time job experience in a relevant occupation. It must include 12 months of full-time paid employment in your specified occupation in the 3 years preceding your application. If you hold an occupational license, you must work in Australia for 12 months full-time. Number 6, Job Ready Program or JRP. The JRP is designed for overseas graduates with an Australian qualification. To get it, you must demonstrate that your abilities and job readiness are appropriate for employment in your specified occupation in Australia. To see all 4 steps of JRP, go to our article and read about them in detail. Okay, what's next? Skilled Migration Points Test. You must get at least 60 points on the Skilled Migration Points Test. After that, you can get points for a variety of factors, including your age, job experience in and out of Australia, your English language level, Australian academic studies, and a state nomination. Okay. What is the SkillSelect EOI system? Once you have enough points, you can submit an EOI or expression of interest through SkillSelect. You cannot file for a general skilled migration visa without being invited through a SkillSelect. What is a state nomination? After submitting your EOI, if you do not have an SOL occupation, you will apply for a state nomination. The states and regions have their standards for a state nomination. In general, you would need to demonstrate your professional experience, English language proficiency, and commitment to live in the state or territory. When to apply for a visa? That's the question. After receiving your invitation via SkillSelect, you have 2 months to submit your visa application. Because you will be required to provide proof of the points you stated in your EOI, it is crucial that the EOI be completed correctly. You and your family members will be required to undergo health and background checks. When your application is approved, you will have 12 months from completing your health and police screening to enter Australia for the first time. Okay? And the question, what are licensed trades in Australia? Certain trade professions in Australia, such as plumbers, electricians, and air conditioning mechanics, require a license. You must get a license from the competent government in each Australian state where you want to work. This might imply completing gap training upon arrival in Australia. If you are under the skilled migrant visa track, you may begin the licensing procedure with your visa application. After the technical interview, licensed trades must complete a practical evaluation. This is often divided into 3 stages, each concentrating on a practical activity. In addition to the activities assigned during the practical portion of the exam, technical questions about your profession will be asked. The practical examination has a time restriction of 5 hours. However, it is normal for some candidates to conclude quicker than that. What do you need to do for your accommodation? You will need to arrange for housing after the visa has been confirmed. Renting is a typical choice. Buying a place might be more cost-effective for full-time Australian residents. It is a typical misconception that expats or expatriates with 457 visas cannot get a mortgage. However, while applying for a mortgage as a temporary resident may be difficult, it is feasible. Okay, the money part. How much do trade workers make in Australia? The average trade pay is $70,140 per year or $36 per hour. Entry-level salaries begin at $60,000 per year, with the most experienced professionals earning up to $100,000 per year. Your salary is determined by things such as level of training, certificates you achieve, years of working experience, and the city you chose. You can go to our article and see a list of the highest paying trade works in Australia. Well, there you go. Now you can start your application and immigrate to Australia as a trade worker. If the steps were so confusing, don't worry. I'll put a cheat sheet on our website. Go ahead and download it. Link is in the description. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. It will help YouTube's algorithm. You can also follow our social media accounts. Again, links are in the description. If you have any type of visit that you want to know about, write the name in the comment section. I will make a video for it. Thank you all for watching.